it's truly amazing that we are here at day 60, that we are working, that we've been doing this, most of us, a lot of us, every day, and making room in this. And whether or not we're doing it live with each other, we're doing it sometime. And I think that that's amazing. Oh, good, Angela, you were working on something. I love it. I should have you come here and plant for me. I'm telling you. Um, I love plants, but I don't know what I'm doing, and my hostas are looking pretty bad. But um, I'm kidding. Like, how do hostas look bad? But they're kind of spread out. They, instead of being in bunch, they're all spread out. So maybe after this we can chat about planting tips, or hosta hospitalization and mending and bunching, which would be lovely. But I wanted to just celebrate today how long we've been doing this. And I thought it would be really a fun way to start, just by reflecting on what this has meant to all of us. And I mean, I talk a lot, but you guys have been sharing all along. I'm curious to know, over the last 60 days, has there been an impact for you? Has it just been a really good reprieve in your day, which is wonderful? Um, are you noticing anything different in your life? Are you noticing anything different in what's um, going on with you? In how you are thinking and doing and growing and being. Um, and while you guys, that's a lot, because I know you got to type. So I'll keep talking. And if you want to share, I think that would be lovely. I think for those people who will be joining us in the coming days, and what this looks like, I think it's really important that we continue to kind of reflect on the journey we've been on. And this morning, I've been reflecting. I've been thinking about what this has meant to me, and it's not. I don't know that this would have been of my own choosing. I'm going to be completely honest. Like, doing this every day, at first it was a completely convenient time. Now I'm like, oh my gosh, it's an inconvenient time, but it's not. It's not. And I'm saying this, I'm just processing out loud, like, that what has happened is I have allowed, like, this space for daily connection. And in this daily connection, both with spirit and with all of you and with myself, like it's wide open. And no matter what is going on in my day, this is happening, right? This is the constant. This is the clarity. This is the point at which I know what's happening in my day. And I can come back to whole. I can come back to clarity. I can come back to the moment, no matter what's happening in my head. And boy, I'm feeling very emotional right now. And I don't know that I could have imagined that it'd be going on for 60 days, or that I'd make room in my days 60 days in a row to do a similar thing. Because I'm a little, like, go with the flow. And it's really opening me to something that, I'm going to be really honest with you, that puts me very much in an edgy place of what do what am I opening myself to do, and to how do I want to be of service? And I thought I kind of knew. And what I'm finding is that there are things emerging for new ways of supporting and guiding and being in service, that I don't think I could have gotten to on my own. And so it's an opening to that, an opening to what this looks like, an opening to that willingness. And every day having this be like a heartbeat in my life, like, we are doing this, we are in a rhythm and a beat, that it's opening me to, in a way that I can't close back to, oh, I'm just going to go about my day. And it's pretty phenomenal. And I'm going to go back and read a few of these comments. because I think this is really beautiful. And so Angela said, huge changes in how I feel the light penetrating my being. I'm in a Rumi poem. Oh my gosh, I love that. And isn't like what with Rumi? Like seriously, throughout time, talk about channel, right? Talk about opening to the full experience of living. Rumi captures that. And there are other poets who are wonderful, but there's something about the words there. Every word is delicious and unctuous and slippery and good and nourishing. And I love Rumi. So I love that you said that. It resonates with my soul as well. Brianna says, I feel that I've done a lot of observing, lowered stress tremendously, and practicing more self love. I think that's amazing. Diane, right when the quarantine started, I had taken time off from giving readings because I needed to do some deep healing, and I have worked through and found new peace. Oh, I'm so glad. And are you doing the work now? Has it changed how you're doing your work and what you're doing? I'm curious to know. Brianna, this meditation completely resets my energy and rejuvenates me each day. I agree. Aurora, hi. Elaine, hello. Gail, good morning. Congratulations on 60. 46 days for me. I love the fact that we know when we started. Like we all are like in it. And whether it's one day or not even your first day, or whether it's all 60 or somewhere in between, we've been breathing together this whole time. And I'm just grateful we found our way to each other. Jennifer, it has definitely impacted my life immensely. So much more peace in my life and inner peace. My actions and reactions have shifted in wondrous ways. Also, really feeling the oneness and wholeness. I love that. I love that. And we're just, yeah, all the mystics. I love that. I love that, Angela. And for those who are just joining, we're just taking a minute to connect in over what has been our experience in being a part of this, because today it's kind of a cool benchmark of 60 days, 60 days in practice, 60 days in doing something. And again, I want to say that whether you're joining now or somewhere along the way you weren't here for the full 60, don't worry about that. You were breathed in, you found your way here. And I think that's true. I think there's like when we breathe out our light, that there are those who find it, like they find the resonance. And if you were invited by a friend, that you listen to that friend. I mean, think of how many things we're invited to. Think about that, and how many times we're like, another group? Are you kidding me? I don't want to do this. And we're saying yes, and we're showing up. And not only are we showing up, we're showing up in it fully to be present to this experience. And we're connected in that way. And I think, at least what my perception is, because I'm not there with you, I feel like this group has created like a vortex of knowing, of connection in and among yourselves. Like you feel like there's a sense of knowing of one another, of feeling each other, of not having ever met face to face, not even maybe even seen each other's pictures or gone to each other's profiles, but there's like a growing community, a growing communion in and among one another. And to me, that's incredibly sacred. Incredibly sacred. Angeline, you say, I feel like I'm more connected to light throughout the whole day, and I'm making healthier choices in all aspects of my life. What I watch, what I read, what I eat, how I respond to others. So grateful. I agree. I agree. And I love that. I've noticed that too. I just feel more conscious, in not a mental way, like in a very present way, where I'm not even allowing myself to judge myself. Like, oh, that's not good to eat. Like, I don't even have that conversation anymore. There are moments, but it's not like it was, where don't eat this, or you need to do this, or you need to do that. Like when that comes up, it passes quickly, and I'm like, what is calling up in me? What is rising in me, in my desire of what it is that I'm longing for, that I'm opening to. And I'm noticing that um, every minute, more clear, more clear, more clear. Diane, I am so grateful that you're part of this group. I'm so grateful for all of you. it has really opened me up to being a part of something, um, something different and more expanded and grateful. Um, Angeline, yep, it's more out of a natural love for ourselves and others. Yeah, it just rises up. It's not like in a this whole energy around force, like how we push ourselves, like this driving, and that's very much um of the masculine energy. And by the way, it's absolutely needed. There are moments where we absolutely need that force. And to be honest, we really did need that to be able to create civilization, to be able to create and learn and be willing to expand beyond our knowing. That is still alive and well, but it has gotten out of balance, right? Out of harmony. And when it overrides that inner knowing, when force be that mental prowess, that mental acuity becomes what we rely on more than our inner knowing, and what we value and devalue, like it's out of whack. And now we're coming into this place of harmony where both are present, both are open, both are available to us in this now moment. Um, and Carol, you're listening in your car. My car is my sacred place. As a matter of fact, my goal today is to get in my car and go for a little drive, and listen to NPR because I miss it. That's the thing in my life that I miss the most right now. And I may go do that and go for a walk after that. So, Kathy, I feel like such a beginner, and having all of you mentors is wonderful. And what I'll say, Kathy, is I feel like you are a mentor as well. I think you have spoken truth into this group, and I think your wisdom and your ability to wrap your head around and share very openly, very in a very pure, this is what I think I'm hearing, or this is what my experience is really that genuineness, that authenticity, that be the beginner's mind that some of us are having to come back to, right? To get past our knowing, our certainty, and to be open to experience as it is I think something we're all longing to do. I think there's a longing for more of that. Aurora, this downtime has allowed me to connect with some beautiful people and work on many different things to better myself. I've also developed a stronger connection with my son. And how beautiful is that? Kelly, 60 days of breathing for the first time, inner peace. Yes, I feel more present and so grateful for this time. I'm so glad. Elaine, I almost said Elaney. It's really funny. I saw your name and it all just went boom, all into one word. It's really funny. Elaine, not sure where I'd be if not for this group. I tend to be reactionary, but I have been so much calmer and peaceful. I have greater compassion for all, even when I may not feel the same. Understanding their side, less fear, breathing into it when it arises. Yeah, Brianna, always a student, always a teacher. Yeah, we're opening. And I love what you said, Elaine, because right now, um, you know, the there's a lot of distraction, right? There's a lot of words and ideas and information being touted as truth, as the most true, as and at the same time there's all of this questioning going around, all of this doubt, and doubt has surpassed, and energetically has surpassed truth, has surpassed all of the constructs that we have held as, well, this, at least this, when this person speaks, we know that they're going to speak truth. Now everything and everyone, all of the things that we've held to be true and right and righteous are all in question. And there's something really terrifying about that if we get into the mental place, because how will we know? How will we know? How will we know? That's the, how, where does it come from? Where does it come from? And at the same time, there it's breaking apart our dependence and uh, our attachment to these constructs as necessary. And as they become questionable, what happens is that we start to realize that we may despise the construct. We may despise government, for example, or money, um, or whatever. It could be anything. The medical establishment, drugs, whatever. Right, whatever it is that we are questioning, we find ourselves really in that vibration of not knowing, but we also at the same time are rising up into the both and experience, which is, if it's gone, then this. If I let all of that go, then what emerges? And is it better or is it worse, or do I not know? And what we're finding more and more is that we don't know. And so what we do is we find ourselves, instead of attaching to the construct, we build our attachment to the story about why the construct isn't needed or why the construct isn't true. And that's where the cycle, the circling mentally just keeps us spinning. And so the fact that daily we have this connection, not just to peace, not just to quiet, but really to connecting to our own inner wisdom, to connecting to that part of us that knows beyond the story, knows beyond um the illusion of structure, the illusion of what we're living in, and comes back to this place of, okay, I have access to everything. I'm attached to things. I'm not certain of what this is going to be, but I'm just going to breathe today, because that I can hold, I can feel, and I feel the impact of that. And in this, what happens is we begin to feel and access and acclimate to this abundant nature and our role within that, which is creator. We are a creative force. Human beings are a creative force. And we've been creating in many respects for ourselves, or for our group or our tribe or our community. And it's always within limitation of us and them, or me and them. And and in this, we reinforce that which we are holding as other. We're holding this dichotomy, and we're coming into something that is breaking that construct down in our own awareness, realizing that the construct that we are fighting against, or the things that we are angry against, are also a reflection of us. Somehow it's all connected. And we can either fight us, or we can kind of lean in and go, what in this is rising up to be looked at, to be seen, to be breathed with, to be expanded? And what am I willing to let go without fighting, without resisting, so that I can be more open and willing. I can be more open and willing to receive. I can be more open and willing for inspiration to come into my vessel, into my being, that I'm beyond the dichotomy. I'm into the infinite. Does that make sense to everybody? Can you feel the difference in that? Can you feel kind of the preparation of what this meditation is opening? I'm curious to know if that has been waking up in you, um, and how that experience has been. So I'm gonna have a drink and I'll see if you respond to that, because there is really a challenge that we have about being in that both and place. And that's where I think that's my experience of when God shows up, right? Is when we allow ourselves to be in that kind of like amorphous kind of experience that we can't grasp, but we can feel our desire for grasping, right? So Diane and Jennifer, like, yeah, that we feel it and we're aware of it and we're seeing it and we're doing it and we're in it, and we have this observation of both wanting the familiar and a willingness to release to it. I That's what I think this practice that we've been doing is really acclimating us to be more open and willing to relinquish, to surrender, to let go, to open ourselves fully so that our need for attachment gently falls away, gently is released. It's not like I have to let this go. I have to get this right. It's very gentle. And I think we're seeing it in different places in our lives and experiencing this in very different ways. Brianna, going beyond the limitations that I've set for myself, surrendering with compassion and having willingness to see that that what we think may have another way of being. Yes, right. That's it. Like, it's like we start to see, like, instead of just seeing it's like we get the full panorama. Like, we're getting the full experience of what is available to us. It is multisensory, multidimensional, multispectral. Like, we are opening to something that our mind, when we start to even put a word on it, it falls away. And so I think it's a powerful experience. And that has been one of the things that I'm witnessing, and I feel like there's greater work to be done, um, in helping teach and open people to this work. Um, and I don't know what that's going to look like, but I feel like that's really the invitation that has been presented to me, um, to do more of that. And everything in me, I will tell you, whenever I get a full on, like, "Oh my god, no. Are you kidding me?" Like, that feeling, I just go, every time, that's my response. And so I feel like the opening is there to do more, and what that looks like, I don't know. What that teaching, facilitating, allowing, I don't know, because the words all fall short. But, it's definitely about creating space to acclimate even further for those who really may teach this or may share this or may expand in this. Um, I think that's where that may end up. And I'm truly honored and blessed to get to do this work with everyone and to be in this vibration with you. Um, and I am still delighted to do this every day, which is good. And I'm delighted to be in it with you. And yes, I think that's why the freedom is there, Diana, is like, even thinking about doing readings, right? How has that changed? I have a feeling things have changed with you in how you are receiving information, where your knowing is coming from, and where your vibration is coming from. And one of the workshops that I'm going to be launching, I talked about it last month, but I will be doing this at the end of this month or beginning of June. I'm looking at the dates. It'll be a Saturday that I'm going to do a half day workshop that will be, opening your channel and working with the divine in your own way. And I feel like this is uh, an important work, since so many of you are really experiencing this clarity. Well, how do we remain clear? How do we open to the divine fully? It's pretty powerful. Uh, and of course, it'll be channeled. A lot of it. I can't help it these days. It's all I do. So look for that. As a matter of fact, I'll try and get that out today or first thing tomorrow. A couple of announcements tonight. I have a group channel. There's still room if you would like to sign up. I really encourage it. It is posted in our group. It's also posted on my page. Pre-registration is required because it's a Zoom meeting. Tomorrow morning at 9:30 Central Time on my business page on Nea Clare channel of Divine Wisdom, that page, I'll be doing I'll be having a conversation with a really good friend of mine who's an energy worker, energy and vibrational specialist, call her that, Barb Demers. And we're just going to have a conversation. It's just, let's have a cup of coffee, everybody, and let's just chat. You guys can post your questions, and she and I just always have really good conversations, and we see things sometimes from different perspectives, and I think that really adds something. So if you would like to be a part of that, just know it's free. It's going to be live, just like this, but it'll be on my Facebook group. And then the only final thing is I am starting a YouTube channel. I know, how conventional. So I am going to put a link up. I would love to ask every one of you to go out and like it and follow it if you would. It's just another way to get information, and it's also another way to share information about what we're doing here, and some of the teachings that I do for people who aren't on Facebook, because a lot of people are starting to move off of Facebook, and so I wanted to make it a little bit more accessible. So if you can do that, I'll post that link in just a little bit after we're done. But that is my ask of you, if you'd be willing to do that. If you have questions about that, let me know. But let's get started. All right. Ooh, hang on. Beverly, you said, in healing and releasing this week, the palms of my hands have been hot, full with tingling vibrations. Yeah, I think people are more like, your body's attuning to this different vibration, and it's coming through a lot of heat, and a lot of people have been talking about the fact that they can't regulate their body temperature. Like, sometimes they're really cold and really hot, and I just took that for just the seasonal weirdness, but as I've talked to more people, this seems to be true, and what's really coming through to me is that um, it really is us acclimating to a different vibration. So, I think that that's very much, Beverly, you're just more open and allowing energy to flow through you more wholly and completely than you have in the past. So yay, that's a beautiful thing. All right, let's go ahead and begin. Thanks to everybody for all the announcements today. And let's just take a couple of deep breaths. Coming into this now moment, let's just breathe. And with every breath, we relax. We breathe in love, and we breathe in appreciation for ourselves, for this body, for the world that we live in. Appreciation is exponential, and it expands our awareness, it expands our energy, and it amplifies us. And this different vibration allows for even more to be received, even more to be experienced in our body. What we appreciate appreciates, it grows, it expands. So we breathe in this divine appreciation. As we breathe in behind our thoughts, our emotions, which might be running right now, might be expanding, running around. We just breathe behind it, falling back away from the noise, from the focus on our thoughts, until we relax into that beautiful, still, centered place within our being. It's always here. It's here where we can find home and clarity, knowing, wisdom, power. It's here that when we breathe into the experience of wholeness and know that this is true. This is who we are and how we experience the world and how the world is experiencing us. And as we breathe, we feel our entire vessel move into alignment. Every cell knowing its function. Heart cells are beating in rhythm. Lung cells opening, expanding, contracting, and releasing. Our muscles working together, our diaphragm allowing more air to come into our vessel. Our organs functioning, our stomach, our intestines, our liver, our spleen, all of this working in perfect order. We breathe in the abundance of life and light as it moves into every cell, allowing access to the highest function, to clarity. And those cells that are not functioning optimally gently release themselves and are released by the body, that they may be shed completely. And this is nature and harmony. When we cease to function optimally, when the blueprint cannot be accessed, it is time for release. This is cooperation and collaboration. When the thoughts, the energy, the beliefs cannot access the highest divine order, blocking light, it is time for those beliefs, thoughts, reactions to be surrendered. And we breathe. Within our being, we are ready, we are willing, we are open. What is happening in our cells is happening in our consciousness, is happening in the collective, is happening around the planet. In order to emerge into a new state of being, that which is holding us back, that which has been blocking us from the light of spirit, the nourishment, must be surrendered. And we breathe. We feel ourselves in this optimum state of being. Our growing awareness of our energy field. When we think of our body, it is now expanded. It is this entire vessel. We are more than our skin and our cells. We are the energetic vibration and emanation of spirit. We are whole and complete and divine in all that we are. And we feel this energetic pulse move around us. It is our connection to the world, to each other, to nature. We feel the love move in and through our vessel. This membrane is permeable to all that is resonant with our highest good. And we emanate light easily and effortlessly, as easily as we breathe, as easily as we think, as mindlessly as we blink and digest, and our heart beats. The light moves in and through this vessel to be shared in abundance with all of the world around us. And in this state of expanded awareness and light, we feel our connection to the Mother more clearly. We feel her love that is always around us, vibrating, moving always into our vessel, helping us to feel clear and present and home. There is no reach for ground because we are of the earth. There is no moment where we are not hers and she is not ours. And in every breath, we feel that gentle tug of gravity on our entire being, reminding us that we are home, that we belong, and that love is abundant in our experience. And from here, we raise our attention upward above our head and arm's length to our connection with the quantum field, with life, with light. Our vessel now like a tulip in bloom. We are open to receive, open to allow the light of the Christ consciousness of love, of creation to move into our vessel. We are open to receive all that is given. Every cell opening to receive the crystalline white light that moves down and through us. It is refreshing and enlivening. Like peppermint, we open, breathing more easily, more open, welcoming more than we believe possible, more than our mind can conceive. It flows in readily. We are open and willing. And in the receiving, we emit easily as we exhale. We allow the light to move into us and through us, that others may awaken to their own light, to their own breath, to their own capacity. And we breathe. It is in the breath that we are in connection with all of humanity, all of nature. We feel this love and connection moving in and out of our vessel. Every breath is our connection to life, our connection to what is true and what is right and what is clear. And we breathe. We breathe into this body, this vessel that has carried us through every moment of our day. And we expand. We expand in our consciousness. We expand in our experience of our own being. As we breathe, we are in greater connection with life. This body is made up of worlds, every cell growing and expanding, a world next to worlds next to worlds, galaxies, universes, we expand outward, growing ever more expanded and ever more present to this experience. It is in this expanded state that we feel the vibration of life. It moves through us. We feel the vibration of love as it enlivens us, and we acclimate to the infinite. It is not something that is outside of us, it is something we are a part of. This is the experience of oneness. To be both in this now moment ourselves and in this now moment everything. And we breathe, allowing the gentle pulse, the gentle rhythm of the breath of the universe, breathing us to move in and through us, awakening the harmony, the rhythm, that we may know the truth of who we are, of what we are, of what makes us and what made us. And as we breathe, we feel our breath, breathing with all of humanity, breathing this experience of rhythm into the consciousness, that it may awaken the light that resides in every human being, the knowing that resides in the vibrational truth within their soul, within their spirit, within their vessel, that it moves in and through them, gently, rocking, gently bringing them into rhythm, finding the willingness to breathe, to open, and to be willing to come to the truth that they are more than their thoughts, more than their experiences, and more than the stories, that they are the vibration of love in form. And we breathe. And as we breathe this consciousness, we expand in our own capacity to receive, to know, to be in this vibration. And as we expand in this experience, all of humanity expands in its ability to receive, to be, to know. And this comes from breathing and being breathed. It is through the breath that we all find our way to our knowing, to the place that we are one. The rhythm and harmony of life brings us back to the truth of who we are. And it is in this place of knowing that we awaken to our power, to our wisdom, and to the love that flows through us, that we may create from a place of harmony, from a place of knowing, from a place of clarity and certainty, certainty that arises in our belonging to the Mother, that arises in the vibration of life and love that flows through us, and through the certainty of the vibration of truth that resides in our being. It is this that can guide us through these moments of uncertainty, these moments of becoming, these moments of emerging. We breathe and feel this awaken in our spirit, in our consciousness. And from this awareness, we bear witness to the current state of human consciousness, aching to expand, aching to reach for the light, and surrounded by doubt and fear and worry. And it is in our breath that we breathe and expand our own capacity to feel the light on our face, to experience the light in our vessel. And as we breathe, we expand the consciousness that light may move in and between the fear and the doubt and the worry, breaking apart the darkness, the shadows, the stories that have kept the many from experiencing the light and love, the infinite love and possibility that is available to all. We breathe. And we breathe this love that is limitless. We breathe from the field of possibility that is beyond our knowing and understanding, trusting that there is no question that can be asked that there is not an answer. We breathe and feel this truth in our bones. We feel it in our chest. We are lighter. The weight of fear and doubt loosened with every breath, willing to release, willing to let go, that we may experience more the vibration of love, more the opening to possibility. And the debris begins to break apart and clear. And we breathe. We let go of our judgment and our worry, our fears and our doubts. And we breathe beyond our understanding into the infinite. Every breath we imagine lightness and clarity and abundance coming into our being, into our vessel. Feeling the exchange and interchange of energy in our cells as we are nourished, as we feel the love wash over and through us, as we feel truth vibrate in our being, as we feel the resonance of being aligned in the light. We breathe. And it is now that we open our experience, open our vessel to feel all of life around us. With every breath, we feel our energy field expand outward and feel all of life, the trees, the grass, the breeze, the clouds, the animals, the insects, the birds. And we merge with this force of life. We merge our consciousness with all of it simultaneously as we march with the ants who are carrying their food back home, as we soar with the eagles and the egrets, as we swim with the fish and the dolphins and the whales and move with the antelope and the elephants. We feel the earth as it moves and undulates, ready to expand, to grow. We feel the energy emerging from her core and settling in other places. We feel the waters, the tides, and all of this is now. The flowers emerging from the ground, reaching for the sun, growing toward the only thing they know, which is light. The trees are reaching and receiving. All of life is in this now experience. And we open to our own nature, to the nature of humanity. Every human being and our nature, our function as creative. We receive inspiration and idea and can make our ideas move into form. This is our function. And we feel all of life shaping our ideas, our constructs, our desires, our designs, that they may be life-giving, that they may be good for all. And we open ourselves to receive in this way and to create in this way. Every cell of our being acclimating to this vibration, pledging our creative force to this, to the harmony of life, to the harmony of oneness that resides in our expression of wholeness. It is all here and present. It is who we are and what we are capable of. We are the creators of what we desire. And we are awakening this in all of humanity. And we breathe. We breathe and we feel our connection and we feel ourselves connecting to all that is. Feeling it come in and through our vessel, enlivening us, enriching us, enlightening us, and attuning us to the energetic vibration of wholeness. And it is from this place that we experience being awake, being aware of life, of all things in this now moment. We feel this energy move in and through us. Our resources, our capabilities, our gifts expanding in ways to be of service in harmony. And we breathe. We breathe for ourselves and we breathe with our brothers and sisters. We breathe with life and we breathe with our mother. We breathe in, dear ones, we breathe in and we know that I am that I am. I am. I am. I am. I am. allowing yourself to breathe, dear ones. To breathe and to be breathed. To feel the rhythm of the universe move in and through you, awakening and enlivening you in the rhythm of oneness. You feel this move through all of your cells, through your being. There is a rhythm in the universe, and it is a part of you, and you are a part of it. You may experience this rocking in your vessel. It is feeling the force, the flow, the rhythm of life that moves in and through all beings. It is familiar to you now. And understand that once this has become familiar, it is the way of being. No longer is it easy to compartmentalize, to limit your understanding, your feelings, your compassion for life. You see things anew. You are refreshed. You are open. You understand that life is. It is born, it experiences, it decays and dies, and it is reborn again. Nothing is wasted. And dear ones, nothing is lost. As you open yourselves into this multi-dimensional experience of being, you are opening yourselves to a new spectrum of emotions and experiences. Some more acute than you have been used to. But in the acuteness, in the clarity, you will find beauty. You will find greater release, authenticity, if you will. It is in this alignment that you come to understand how your emotions are to be used, are to be experienced. There has been far too much weight on your thoughts and your emotions, far too much emphasis that these are what dictates your experience. You will come to understand that they are a part of your experience. In many cases, they enhance it, they reinforce it, they add the color to what may be black and white. And it is in this that you will find the beauty and willingness to experience even more. It is as though your view of color is now enhanced, that there are more gradations of the colors you have been so familiar with. This is true in your thoughts, in your emotions, that where the words you have used, the expressions you have shared no longer are correct. They require greater accuracy, greater clarity, because your expression in the world, your experience in the world is more refined. Honor this. Trust in this. We bless you and honor you. We delight in your willingness and the many that you are serving with your breath, and that you are allowing yourselves to come into harmony to be served in your own breathing. Indeed. Hi. I'm just feeling very wide open in that information that I felt coming, and information and message and energetic transmission that came through just open like so much in my heart space. I just felt I still feel extremely tender and open. And I feel like this new level of willingness in my being. I don't feel like there are words right now. I'm gonna have some water or some vitamin water. Angeline, I see you pulled a card for the group, and it is power. Together, we bring you the gift of power, higher guidance. No matter what appears to be happening in your life, psychological and emotional power enables you to transform through evolving your belief systems and processing your emotions, through which you gain wisdom. Physical power gives you the strength to take action on the matters that serve your life path. This gift of power is safe for you to receive because you will use it to fulfill divine. And I think there's more. I don't know. Oh, hey, look at that. Or maybe not. Don't worry about if there's not more. That's okay. What I want to say is, I think that's really true. And it's really funny. I have a deck of cards, which I don't really do a lot of divination cards anymore. But I have one deck that I really love. I love it because it's just a word, and I don't remember what the deck is. I'll tell you guys later. I can't remember. It's just beautiful. It's just one word. It's just on the cards. Um, and whenever I cut the cards, it's been 5 years now. Doesn't matter. I can shuffle and shuffle and shuffle. I always oh, the power card is the one that comes up. It kind of makes me laugh every time. Angela, sacred, floating on a gentle breeze, being serenaded by bees. I love that. And the lilacs, oh my God, they're bursting right now. Jennifer, so powerful and so loving, feels like being wrapped in angel wings. Yes. Brianna, has anyone noticed the trees are being more vibrant, almost like the colors have all shifted to a brighter vibration? Yesterday, I almost cried on my walk at the beauty of the trees. Like, what is happening? Actually, yes, I will say that I've noticed that the blues are bluer, the greens, there's like it's almost like a halo effect is what I'm seeing, but it's like a different lighter green, a lighter blue. Um, It's like where the edges of the leaves, it's like there's there's just a different energy frequency. I've noticed that as well. I think that's great that I'm not the only. I was gonna say something. It reminds me of years and years, like back in massage school. I got um, a what is it called? Shiatsu session with this shiatsu master who's just amazing. Beck, I still remember her. It was one of the most profound experiences of my life. And I remember I went in and got this session. I walked out and I had to walk home, which was about a mile, and everything was vibrating at a whole different frequency. I was like, what just happened to me? It was so amazing. So Kathy, I keep asking my energy who she is. What do I call her? How do I refer to her? And all I get is just mother. Well, can you trust that, Kathy? Is that enough? Or is there something else that you need? Just know sometimes we have expectations and it doesn't seem like that could be enough. So what if you start honoring that it's just mother? Trust me, I felt the same for the prior to the beginning of this year. The how that I channel now did not have a name, and to keep showing up and saying, well, it's like you can call them the oneness because I got nothing. Like I could feel them, but there was no name, and people was, well, who is it you're channeling? What is it you're channeling? Tell me more. Tell me more. I'm like, I don't have all the info. And to be willing to honor that because more will be revealed, I think. Um, Kelly, yes, the birds are beautiful. Aurora, sorry, I'm going to have to go back and re-listen. I got a call from the Comcast guy. That's all right. Carol, thank you, Nia and fellow breathers. I'm so glad you're on and I'm glad you joined in your car. Jennifer, seeing the energy emitting from everything lately. I saw this with the trees this morning. I went out to take a photo and could not duplicate what I saw, right? And it's, again, think about the experience, how we've been saying it's beyond our understanding, but we're getting evidence. And one of the things that, I don't know if I told you guys this, but I'll tell you this. Gail, I saw with this one. Yeah, I said that. I'm losing track. I think I shared this a long time ago, but when I was in Mount Shasta, I was on a nearby mountain, I guess, doing a hike with my friend, and there were these shapes. I'm going to draw it. They're tetrahedrons, right? And so it's a pyramid shape, right? But it's all triangles instead of the bottom being square. It's four sides, but every side is three-sided. Does that make sense? Like this, right? So since then, I have literally had these rocks that are shaped like this, very distinct. I mean, that's a very distinct shape and very clearly this shape show up in my path. And yesterday I was doing a little bit of clearing of some brush, and around my house in 4 different places I found these rocks. As a matter of fact, I'll take a picture of one of them. That's the most it's in my window well. I was reaching down to get something and I looked in my window well and there is a rock that's shaped like this. And the reason I say this is because when I was hiking and saw it literally everywhere we were hiking and we went all over the place in the ground. Was this shape of rock, and it didn't have, like, they were everywhere. They were halfway buried in the rock. They were huge. They were small. I have like several of them, and I have pictures of one where I was doing a meditation on Mount Shasta, and there was a lizard hanging out on one of them. I looked down, and there's the lizard, and there's the rock. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Right? And the reason I share this is the message that I got while I was in Mount Shasta, and that was 3.5 years ago, was everything is here. It's hidden in plain sight. Everything is hidden. And I think what's happening is we are becoming more awake to all that is here. So I think we will begin to see differently. I think we will begin to experience things differently. I think we'll start to, and I don't take these when I see this like, ooh, it's a sign. I just don't really believe in that, because to me that's like I'm finding, coins and playing a video game. I don't feel like that's how life works. I feel like it's, oh, wow, right? Of course, there it is. It's a continual reminder that everything I need is right here. Everything that I need is here. Everything I need to know, everything I need to do. It's kind of like it's like a reminder. Maybe this is my guide, like we have this idea of angels and guides, but I feel like in my physical world, I'm continually reminded of all that I need, all that is available. And so that's one of the things that I found. And I think when we think about like the trees and even sometimes, have you ever noticed like when you're out and out of nowhere you hear a chime or you hear a bell? Like sometimes I used to think, who's trying to get my attention? And I realized it's not who, it's like, Nia, pay attention. Be awake to the world that you're in, because we're so habituated to not be awake, to not be fully present, and to not honor ourselves or our experiences as true and real and valuable. And I love this. Brian, I've been seeing heart shapes in trees, leaves, cut grass, so bizarre. And is it? Like, take that last statement off. Take the last statement, so bizarre. It's not bizarre. What it is it is, right? And are you paying attention and are you going, okay, because there's that part of us that goes, this is weird. It's weird. It's weird. And therefore we're weird and it's not normal. And we start building up our story about that. And it's the exact opposite. It's like, oh, look at what's here for me. Look at what is here for me. Everything's here for me. It's here and I'm here and all is well. And we're opening to this and we're in this vibration together, and I am a part of this world and it is talking with me and I'm a part of it, and I am talking with it. Does that make sense? And so it's like I remember I had a coach who said to me, the more that we're surprised by everything good that happens to us, the more we are actually creating resistance. So if we can, and even thinking about having to explain it, having to make sense of it. I looked up all the meaning of tetrahedron for a year and I'm like, none of that really matters. It just shows up, and that meaning doesn't, do I need to ascribe a meaning to it, or do I just simply go, of course, well, there you are. Of course you're here. I'm clearly moving along and I'm awake today. I saw you and I'm going to stay awake now. I'm going to keep on my path. I'm going to keep breathing. I'm going to keep being present. I think that part of us to rely on our desperate need, and it is a desperate need to explain the world around us, it becomes kind of an addiction of sorts, that we always have to know. Everything has to have meaning. And it's not that it doesn't, it's that it has to be meaningful in our way, that we have to shape it until it makes sense instead of just meeting it as it is. Can life not have to be so meaningful all the time? And can we be with it? Can that be meaning enough to just be present to it? And just so you know, as these words are flowing right out of my mouth, I'm listening. Because I think there is that idea that everything has to fit a certain need, a need to feel certainty, a need to make sense, a need to align. And maybe none of that is true. Maybe that's this mental body that is always seeking to be satisfied. And can we breathe past that and come more into an acclamation of knowing that all is in our divine order, and anything that we need isn't going to be coming to us in a riddle. It's going to be clear. It's going to be clear because we're clear. What would that be like? You know? So I share that with you, that you may noodle on that. I'm going to noodle on that. And I love you guys. I love you, and I'm glad that we got to do it in day 60. Whoop, whoop. That's it for me, my needing to know the mechanics of everything. And it's habit, Kathy. It's just habit. And so and think about how much of it has always been true or which is true. I mean, if our thoughts create our reality and our thought is that the meaning is this, then is that our reality? Does it take us out of the experience? And trust me, my brain's turned inside out as I'm speaking this because I'm like, yeah, yeah, I need to really noodle on this. I really need to take this in because there's a really profound lesson in that. And I think it's in these lessons and it's in this opening that there's this opportunity to deepen that practice, to deepen our connection to it, to deepen our awareness of how of the way to be in life and also be this open. And I feel like that's what's emerging, and I feel like that's kind of where service is going for me. So more to be revealed, more to be shared soon. I will get that class set up, and if you are interested, I'd love to have you guys join tonight. Um, but get booked, get signed up because there's only so many spots because it's only 2 hours and I can only go on for so long. So I'd love to have you guys on. And depending who's on, literally, if it can go in any direction. If we have a lot of new people, it definitely sticks to the format. But if we have people who are gathered and we're all in a certain, it may completely take on a new form. It would not be the first time this happens. So if you are being called, if you feel that nudge, if you feel of being called and being a part of that circle, just know that you're being called to it. So trust that. I trust that in my own self. I've trusted when I'm not feeling it and when I am feeling it. And today I've been thinking, gosh, this may not look like the normal group channel, maybe completely a different experience for the group that's gathering. So either way, it'll be lovely. I love you. I honor you. Happy day 60. And we will talk soon. Thanks, you guys. Have a good one.